purchases now refers to our business or the business buying merchandise. And I guess I want to start with, what does the term merchandise mean? What is merchandise?
Business sells.
Okay, it's the price that the business sells. So it's kind of like the inventory, right? That purchases is going to refer to then what we buy or our inventory amount. It's the merchandise amount. So when we buy something, when we buy merchandise, we're going to record that in these purchases account. With that comes some added account types and classifications. So if you look at some of the new accounts, and I'll give you a little bit of time to write this down. Otherwise, again, this is posted out in Classroom, so you can go through and fill that table in on your own accord. We're going to be looking at purchases. We're going to be looking at the account purchases, returns, and allowances. So again, that account is going to track any of the purchases that we return, whether it be because of defective or because we just don't want them anymore. We have too much. Purchase discounts, just like we talked last time about cash discounts. Purchase discounts is that deal, for lack of a better term, that we get if we pay that bill off within a certain number of days. In chapter 15, we're going to be talking a little bit about something called prepaid insurance, or a prepaid insurance account. Again, when you buy insurance, when you make your car insurance payment, that insurance is for the next period of time. So you're paying ahead, if you will. Unlike an accounts payable where you're paying backwards. Prepaid insurance is the concept we use to measure how much insurance we have paid or going to have for the next period of time. And then the last one is transportation in. It's the shipping cost, right? You buy something from Amazon, shipping's included, right? So we have to have an account then that refers to how much are we paying in shipping. Where is that amount? With transportation in, there are two other vocab terms, and I think they're on your list. FOB destination and FOB shipping point. The FOB refers to free on board. So the abbreviation for free on board destination. So if you see your problem where it says free on board destination, that means that the supplier is responsible for the shipping costs. So then we, as the individual company, we don't need to pay it. So if Amazon is offering free shipping, that means that in their problem, if there was going to be a problem, you're going to see the transportation, the shipping is free on board destination. Free on board shipping point refers to the buyer being responsible for shipping. Okay, so free on board shipping point, the buyer is responsible for it. Free on board destination, the supplier is responsible for it. All right, purchases now falls in that cost of merchandise account. Cost of merchandise account, let's see where I have this now. Is under the owner's equity category. I think we had that last time, didn't we?
Cost of
No.
merchandise?
Cost of merchandise here? No. Okay, so we're adding a cost of merchandise category to our accounting equation. Cost of merchandise has a debit balance. And then we have, with that, a contra cost of merchandise. And that's a reverse cost of merchandise. So again, purchases falls under cost of merchandise classification. Purchases, allowances, and discounts is a contra cost of merchandise account. And I know I just threw a lot at you, right? And I know that it's hard to memorize this stuff. You know, in accounting one, this beginning accounting equation was pretty simple, right? We had assets, we had liability, we had owner's equity, and then we had the 3, even 4 sub classifications on owner's equity, those temporary account expenses, revenue, and withdrawals, and then income summary. And we're able to kind of keep those things separate. And I know now things are starting to get a little bit complicated, right? Starting to get a little bit messy. Having this somewhere is going to be beneficial to you, right? As this accounting equation expands, now it's maybe, especially early on, not as easy to kind of keep those things forward. So, I mean, this is kind of like the periodic table in chemistry, right? It's been a long time since I've had chemistry, but if you're working on chemistry, having a periodic table by you or access to it is pretty valuable. And so this is kind of the periodic table of accounting. So let's get into a couple of examples. And I think today, let's just start with these examples. Now you should have this in your study guide. We're only going to do one of the first 2 because both of them are exactly the same. And but on August 6th, purchased $800 in merchandise on account from Prime Products. The invoice being $16.11. Okay, we're doing this on page 12 of the General Journal. And again, nothing earth-shattering there, right? We're starting on August 6th. Again, let's talk about here, kind of going back to the early days in accounting one, when we had these problems, we're analyzing these problems, what did we do? The first thing we did is we took a look and said, all right, what's going on here? What accounts are affected? So we're purchasing merchandise.
Please pardon the interruption. At this time, teachers, if you check your email, it was late notice, but we need to get all NHS candidates released right now and sent to Mrs. Gingris's room 207. She will be having a quick meeting with the NHS candidates and sending them back to class.
You go, right? Good thing this is being recorded. Okay, so if we look at we're purchasing merchandise on account, I think this is a pretty simple transaction here. Okay, so what accounts are being affected? What's happening? We're buying merchandise, right?
Accounts payable.
Okay, we have accounts payable that's being used. Yep. And what else? We have to record what else. So you know, any transaction, there's something given up, right? Okay, and well, not merchandise, but what account? What's the name of the account that we're using to record merchandise?
Owner's equity.
Right idea, Austin. Wrong account. Purchases. The
Okay.
purchases account is what records merchandise. I know, kind of backwards. Why don't they use merchandise, right? Okay. But the purchases account is what they're using to record merchandise. So what's happening is the purchases, you know, is accounts payable increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
It's increasing. Okay, so accounts payable is what type of an account, what classification?
Liability.
It's a liability, and an increase in the liability is a debit or credit.
Credit.
It's a credit. So we know that our accounts payable account is going to be credited. Right? And I'm just kind of writing this off the side right now to kind of help keep things straight. Okay, I see Megan over here using T accounts. Great. Okay. Purchases. What's happening to purchases? Increasing or decreasing?
Increase.
Increase. Purchases is what type of an account?
Owner's equity.
No. Well, yes, but more specific.
Revenue. Or,
No.
well, I mean, it's a cost of merchandise.
Yeah. I know you maybe didn't get it filled in yet, right?
Oh, that's.
Purchases is a cost of merchandise account. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which has a
Then
debit increase. Again, I realize that there's a lot going on here, right? Austin over here is thinking, glad I'm not in that class because I'm lost already. Okay, there's a lot going on here. This is a little bit more complex than accounting one, right? Which, as you would expect it to be. Okay, but the process is the same. The point I want to make is the process is the same. If you slow this down, it's just as easy. Okay, kind of like running. Running is just walking really fast, right? And so if you have problems running, what do? You slow things down. You start walking, run a little slower, right? That's all we need to do is just kind of run a little slower at this point. Kind of slow the process down. So going back here now, I'm going to push a lot of buttons to get to where I need to be. Accounts payable is going to be credited. Purchases account is a cost of merchandise account, which has a debit increase. Okay, I had to do that because I have to know which account to list first in the journal here, right? So I'm going to debit my purchase account. The amount is $800. And I'm going to credit accounts payable. And I'm going to be specific. Accounts payable for prime products. For $800. Here's my.
Is there no subsidiary accounts for liabilities?
There is. You beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
Source document is invoice 1611. Okay, and yes, accounts payable is has a subsidiary account. So what does that mean for you? Is that we should be putting that line, the divider line in there, knowing that we're going to post it eventually two different spots. Okay. Check mark going to the individual account and the actual account going to the overall accounts payable. Whatever number that it will be in our list of accounts. Okay, so I mean, really, once you kind of break this down and kind of get comfortable, this is a pretty simple transaction, right? I mean, we're just buying something and we're going to pay for it later. Okay? The transaction on August 9th is the exact same thing. I don't think we need to go over that. It's the exact same thing. Okay, the 10th. So let's get down to the 10th. August 10th, we purchased supplies on account from Main Supplies for $125. So again, let's go back to our process. What are the accounts that are going to be affected? Let's choose the obvious one.
Accounts payable.
Accounts payable. Okay, so we know that accounts payable is going to be used. And what else?
Would it just be,
This is almost a trick question.
would it just
It's just supplies. Yeah. Right. This is a transaction. This is a accounting one transaction. Snuck in accounting two. Okay. And the point that I want to make is, again, purchases are reserved just for merchandise. Even though we're buying supplies, the difference is we're not going to resell these supplies. Purchases are reserved for those things that we are going to resell. Accounts payable, again, is what type of an account?
Liability.
Liability, so it has a debit or credit increase.
Credit.
Is accounts payable increasing or decreasing in this?
Increasing.
Increasing, so it's a credit. Okay, supplies is gonna be our debit. Why? That supplies is a what type of account? Trick question here, kind of, right? Megan?
Owner's equity.
Yeah, it's an asset account, right? Sometimes we forget to think as simple as it is, right? It's an asset account. Okay, asset accounts have a debit increase. So we're gonna debit supplies. $425. Credit accounts payable. Okay, now kind of going back to what I saw in the test, make sure that as you record these in the general journal, you are indenting correctly. All of the debited accounts should have no indent. The credited account should be indented roughly a half inch. Again, I'm not going to pull a ruler out, but just make sure that I know that there is a definite indent there. Okay. The source document should be indented from the credited account. So just make sure that you are identifying and showing that those are indented. Okay? Sometimes some of you are kind of getting kind of sloppy. I think more of it's not so much getting sloppy and you're focusing so much on what's debited and what's credited in the right amount that you forget about that indent. But just make sure that you're indenting those source documents as well. And then the last one. On the 15th.
Purchases, returns, and allowances.
Okay. So on August 15th, we issued a debit memorandum for the return of $500 in merchandise purchased on account. Okay, so what's happening here? Forget about the accounts that are being used right now, but just describe what is going on here.
Person took back the $500 worth of.
Yeah, we took back some merchandise. We sent some merchandise back. Okay, so what accounts are going to be used? What do we have to do?
Accounts payable.
Okay, we got to undo the purchases account, which we're going to use the purchases, return, and allowances, right? Okay.
Accounts payable, because that's what we use.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to use accounts payable. That's going to be affected. And anything else?
Can it just be those two?
Just those two? Yep. Okay, so purchases, returns, and allowances
That should be credited.
is what type, is that increasing or decreasing? Are we increasing or decreasing the amount that we're taking back?
Increase.
We're increasing, okay? It is a what type of an account? Contra cost of merchandise. Contra cost of merchandise has what type of a balance?
Credit.
Credit balance. Accounts payable, what's happening? Increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing.
Decreasing. Okay, what type of an account?
Liability.
So debit or credit?
Debit.
Okay, so now that we have that, now we just go ahead again, things get pretty, life gets pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's just a general business, like it's.
Okay, those are, yeah,
Okay.
parts that are general. And the other example, let's just kind of stop there for today.
You need these tests back or no?